Yo, check the mic, it's Steve Hamoen on the scene, talking jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? Episode 12, we're keeping it real, with controversies and viral feels. No need for G's or belts to mention, just athletes and tournaments, that's our intention. From the mats to the mats, it's a chokehold wrap, so let's dive into the news. It's time to unwrap. So today, we're diving into something that's been causing quite the stir in the jiu-jitsu world, the origins of American Jiu-Jitsu. Keenan Cornelius, a name that resonates with anyone who's been following the grappling scene, recently broke it down for us. The term American Jiu-Jitsu has been thrown around quite a bit, and it's sparked a fair amount of debate. Some folks are saying it's a valid term, while others are sticking to the more traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu label. But what's the story here? Keenan took us back in time to 1904, when Mitsuyo Maeda introduced jiu-jitsu to none other than Teddy Roosevelt, the President of the United States. It's fascinating to think that jiu-jitsu was being institutionalized in America way back then, even before the term Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was ever a thing. Maeda and his contemporaries taught what was called American Jiu-Jitsu, and it was a big hit with the American police force and universities like Stanford. What's really interesting is how the American wrestling culture influenced the evolution of jiu-jitsu in the States. Keenan explained that there was a sort of melding of techniques, with judo, jiu-jitsu, and catch wrestling all coming together. But then World War II happened, and Japanese culture faced a lot of xenophobia. Jiu-jitsu was sidelined, seen as something for women, and catch wrestling took the spotlight, eventually evolving into the pro wrestling we know today. Keenan made it clear that this isn't about dismissing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's about recognizing that American Jiu-Jitsu has its roots and history, even if it took a back seat for a while. It's not a new invention, but a revival of something that was already there. And that's a pretty compelling narrative to consider, especially if you're someone who's passionate about the history and evolution of martial arts. All right, folks, that's a wrap for today's episode of Jiu-Jitsu Podcast Choke. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the origins of American Jiu-Jitsu and all the controversies that come with it. Remember, whether it's American or Brazilian, it's all about the love of the sport and the community it builds. Now, before I go, I'll leave you with a silly jiu-jitsu joke. Why did the jiu-jitsu practitioner bring a ladder to class? Because he heard the white belts couldn't reach the next level. Until next time, keep rolling and keep choking.